Good evening, everybody. Glad to see everybody's here in the chat. Appreciate everybody being here. Rough day for a lot of people today. A lot of people called me, a lot of messages, busy all day. Looked at everything when I got back from the office, and I wanted to go live to discuss two companies that took a little bit of a haircut today. And yes, I know that I need a haircut. I will go get one very soon. And days like this, it just doesn't call for milk. No, does not call for milk. We need the hard stuff today. We need that blueberry pomegranate is what we need. So we're going to jump into it. Keep in mind, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not an investment professional. I just do a ridiculous amount of research, and I'm pretty level-headed. So let me get into this blueberry pomegranate, and then we're going to get into Palantir, and we're going to get into BMNR, because that is what everybody has been asking me for. So give me a moment. Stuff is so good. Ronnie Brook Farms, not a sponsor of the show. It is just that good. Seriously, check it out. The good stuff. All right. Palantir. Let's bring up a chart. We'll use the Webull desktop app since that has become the go-to at the moment. Do I not have, I don't even have Palantir on my watch list. That's pretty sad. So hold on. I can't believe I don't have Palantir on the watch list. Jeez, what is going on with me? All right. Sharing the screen now. I'm getting a little quicker the transitions, working on it. Look, this was an incredible quarter. Hands down, incredible quarter. I don't know that I've seen a quarter like this from many companies ever, okay? So here we go. Went into this earnings. We all know that this is a company that has had a tremendous amount of momentum. From Rule of 40 score to however you want to talk about Palantir, it has been doing everything right. From a fundamental basis, absolutely crushing it. They generated over a 63% year-over-year growth rate on Q3 earnings. They shattered expectations. I had them coming in around 53%. They shattered my expectations by 10%. I mean, hats off to Alex Karp, hats off to this company. I think they are a phenomenal management team. I love what they stand for. I was bullish Palantir at the direct listing. I have been off and on bullish. I've been neutral, but I got only because of the valuation. But I got to tell you, I called him Mitt before and we had a conversation about this. And I told him, you're about to hear me say something that I have not said before. And I told him, I don't even think Palantir's S-curve has started yet. And I know that may sound crazy, but I do believe I can defend that statement. Now, the drop today, I mean, depends when you bought, but most people are sitting on a huge return on Palantir. This is, on one side, to me, when I look at everything, that big of a beat and them not being able to break through where they were and drop, I think a lot of growth has been pulled forward. I don't think that this haircut is anything to really get crazy about. And look, it could keep going down, but I'm a long-term investor, okay? When I look at the numbers, and I'm going to look at the numbers a little bit differently than other people, and I'm going to share the slideshow that I put together, and I'm going to be doing a full-blown deep dive on Seeking Alpha about this. But I'm going to give you guys a preview. Like you guys know, I research a lot of companies. I don't know that I've ever seen a company do this before, other than NVIDIA, okay? Let's be very clear. But I don't think that people are ready for the S curve that's going to happen. When you look at the revenue growth, they're starting to really grow by a lot on a quarter over quarter basis and a year over year basis. The quarter over quarter basis is the momentum continues to pick up. And there's a lot of revenue that's not built in. And here's the way that I think people should be looking at Palantir. The deals and the customers, the two most important things at this point for this company. And the growth rate in deals is remarkable, okay? I don't care about opinions. I care about numbers and facts. And these are the facts about their deals. First time ever exceeding $201 million deals plus in a 3-month period. Last quarter was the first time they exceeded 150. They almost reached $105 million deals, okay? Absolutely insane. And keep in mind, a lot of these deals probably have not started paying revenue yet. This is why I don't think the S-curve is really started for Palantir, because we're starting to see a real arc on the large-scale deals. And then when we go into customers, I'm sorry, but they have almost 1,000 customers now. What was the big gripe with Bears? We don't know if Palantir is going to be able to have a real commercial business. Well, obviously that wasn't true. They're a black box. So what? They fully disclose that they work with the CIA. They fully disclose they work with the DoD. Obviously, they can't talk about some stuff, and I'm fine with that. Listen, I want our military, I want our allies to have the very best technology that they can possibly utilize. And if Palantir is that company, so be it. I'm good with it. I salute them. I'm very happy that we are utilizing the best technology platform. Very happy about it. And now from a commercial side, we're seeing a rapid growth of expansion with 742 commercial customers. And we're seeing real growth on the government side. Keep in mind, new governments are not growing. So you went from 157 to 169 and gained 12 government contracts or customers in a quarter. That's a quarter over quarter increase, not year over year. Pretty impressive. So when I look at this and I look at the amount of deals signed, the amount of customers that they have, that's going to create an S-curve in the future for revenue. And here's the biggest number that not a lot of people talk about. I know Amit talks about it, and I know Nash talks about it, and I know I talk about it. I don't know who else talks about it, but net dollar retention. Palantir's net dollar retention was 134%. And now they have specifically said in the past, when they calculate net dollar retention, it does not include any deals done in the past 12 months. Because net dollar retention is how much of an upcharge and how much more companies spend in the following year. So if we really think about that, back in Q3 2024, they were at 629 total customers. There are almost 300 more customers in a year now that an average 134% net dollar retention doesn't even apply to right now. So what happens when they start getting cross-sold on other products in a year from now and in 2 years from now? We could see a very big S-curve on revenue. I mean, operation companies doing amazing. Management doing amazing. Obviously, there's wide-scale adoption for their products. Absolutely incredible. The only sticking point has been the valuation. And before we get into the actual valuation numbers, stock-based compensation used to be a problem. I don't think it's a problem anymore. I certainly don't. It's not more than 50% of revenue, what it used to be, I believe. I have the margins somewhere. Oh, I may not put the margins in here, but I can grab them for you. Give me one sec. Let's see. So at one point in Q1 2021, stock-based compensation was 57% of revenue. In Q2 2021, it increases 62%. We're down to 13.3%. And you know what? It's a tool to incentivize their sales team and their employees to produce. And I don't have a problem with it at all. So now when I look at total revenue, free cash flow, and net income, I mean, this is what you want to see. Great margins. They're generating $500 million in the TTM on free cash flow. And look, I'm not using their adjusted numbers. I dislike adjusted numbers. I'm using raw free cash flow. You're at a $2 billion run rate on free cash flow at this point at a great margin. So hats off to the team. They've done what all the Bears said they couldn't do. They had a lot of momentum, and now there's a question about it. So here we go. Two other software companies. And once again, I don't care about opinions. These are the two that I want to use. These are the two that I'm going to use. I don't care if people think Salesforce doesn't make a good product or they do. The numbers are the numbers. This is what they've done in the trailing 12. Same with Adobe. I don't know if they're going to get cannibalized by AI or not. I don't know. But these are two software-based companies, the same way that Palantir is a software-based company. Palantir right now is a much larger company than both of them. And it does a fraction of the revenue and profitability. It makes it a little hard for some investors, including myself, to wrap our brains around how much momentum and how much growth has been pulled forward. And that doesn't take anything away from the underlying business. It doesn't take anything away from Dr. Karp and the team. I don't think there's anybody that can actually say they have not done an amazing job, that they haven't executed, that they haven't done what pretty much nobody's been able to do except for maybe Elon and maybe Jensen. So it's just, this is a numbers-based thing at this point. And I do think that the top for Palantir could be in for a little bit, but that doesn't mean that they can't grow into this number. And it doesn't mean that they can't go higher in the future. I just think at some point we have to realize that things can get expensive. Right now, on a trailing 12-month period, Palantir has done $1.79 billion in free cash flow, and it's trading at 252 times free cash flow. Now, I know the growth. Yeah, I get it. And it's amazing what they're doing. But the reality is that $3.9 billion in total revenue, Salesforce does 10 times the revenue and has a market cap that's almost $210 billion less. I mean, Palantir is almost double the market cap, maybe 90% more. I'm sorry, not 90%, maybe, you know what I mean. But net income, Palantir is just over $1 billion. Salesforce and Adobe are between 6.5 and 7 billion. Palantir is trading at over 400 times net income. Salesforce is at 36 times and Adobe's at 20 times. So even though Palantir is an amazing company, has an amazing community, and they're firing in all cylinders, they're putting up growth rates nobody else is putting up. At some point, you have to take a step back and look at the actual cash flow statement, look at the income statement, and think, where are they going to be in the future? And I do think that they are going to be $1 trillion company. I truly believe that. I just don't think it's going to happen as quickly as everybody thought. And I'm not going to be surprised if Palantir pulls back. But once again, that's the difference between long-term and short-term money. I'm a long-term investor. Playing this game of trying to pick a top and sell and then have to pay tax on the money if it's in a taxable account and then pick when you get back in, that's not a game I'm going to play. So if Palantir keeps going down, so be it. If they don't, so be it. It's a phenomenal company that I think is going to do way better in the future. I can't predict what it's going to do tomorrow or the next day. And I can make a objective speculation that they will be a larger company in the future based on momentum, based on their clients, based on their net retention. So I just, days like today really drive me crazy because Palantir goes down 6, 7, 8% and people think the world is burning. It's not. If Palantir went to, in all seriousness, Palantir was at what, 25, 30 bucks a year and a half ago. If Palantir fell to 140 or 150, would it really matter for most people? And look, if you bought in at 180, 190 and it goes to 150, it's not going to feel good, but I'm sure there's other times in other companies that you didn't buy at the right time and you waited it out. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take, but to me, day like today, it doesn't get under my skin by any means. And I just think everybody needs to take a step back, look at the company for what it is, and see what your objective is. I actually saw something really interesting that I want to watch and react to with everybody about this exact conversation with two people that I think are absolutely phenomenal, Joe Terranova and Josh Brown. So I'm going to play this and discuss it with everybody. They hit the nail on the head on so many points. So let's get into this. And you know what? I'm going to share it the right way. We're not going to make the same mistakes over and over again. We're going to learn. We got to check the box, audio share every time we do it. So let's see what they have to say, and let's go from there.
Really hit the ball of the park with Q3 earnings. That's the view from a majority of sell-side analysts that cover the stock. The only challenge is how to value Palantir and how much of its growth is already priced into the stock. Jefferies writing that the numbers are great. Valuation is, quote, extreme at 83 times 2026 sales. Cantor Fitzgerald writing that we continue to be impressed by its products, business model, execution. Our neutral ratings only informed by relative valuation, adding that Palantir trades at about 5 times higher versus other names in the infrastructure software sector. CEO Alex Karp joined CNBC. Here's what he had to say about valuation.
They thought Palantir was overvalued at 10. They thought it was overvalued at 20. I'm not even here saying what the valuation is. I'm just saying find a company in the world that has a rule of 114, that has U.S. commercial growing at 121%, that aggregate growth in the U.S. is 77%, that has throwing off free cash flow in a way that's anomalous, and that is fully aligned with our customers.
Karp also blasted Big Short famed investor Michael Burry of Scion, who revealed in a filing last night that he's shorting Palantir and NVIDIA, to which Karp said, quote, the idea that chips and ontology is what you want to short is crazy. Going forward, investors will be watching government revenue growth for Palantir, which did decelerate slightly from 53 to 52% quarter on quarter. Jefferies analysts add that the ongoing government shutdown likely lowers the number of new contracts getting done. Frank.
All right, Arsima.
All right, so shorting Palantir, I'm not crazy enough or brave enough to take that road. I also don't think that Burry shorted. I think he bought puts. That's much different. He can only lose what he puts into buying the puts. He may have even done put spreads. Who knows? But not something I would do, even though I do think the valuation is rich. Something I wouldn't do. Too many people have done horribly doing that stuff. So if you're planning on doing that, I don't know if that's the company you want to do it on.
With the very latest on Palantir, those shares, one of the biggest drags on the S&P right now. Joe, I want to come over to you. You're a Palantir shareholder in the Joe T ETF. What do you make of the reaction in the stock after very strong earnings? I do want to point out there was also a warning on a Korean exchange about SK Hynix that seemed to spook the markets in addition to those comments from the Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs CEO. But what do you make of this reaction?
Valuation was the impediment. I said it yesterday. 85 times sales, 200 plus times earnings. And apparently this morning, the marketplace is paying attention to that. Now, if there's something embedded in the earnings report for you to be particularly troubled by, I mentioned yesterday that I thought the international expansion was very favorable. Well, to hear Alex Karp say that growth is being held down by a stagnant Europe, okay, that's somewhat troubling. But I think overall, you have to look at this from the perspective of how do you think about positioning here? And unfortunately, in fantasy land, it's very easy to say, okay, I'm going to make money being long, or guess what? I'm going to make money being short. I think probably what's in front of you is that both sides are going to be disappointed, both the longs and the shorts. If you have the ability to be really fast in markets and go in there and, take a short position, I think the high yesterday was 207. That's the all-time high. If you think this stock could fall 150, 160, okay, great. Congratulations. You probably should be managing a hedge fund. But that's very difficult to do. If you're thinking about selling short on the premise that this stock is going to go back down to $40 or $30, the fundamentals just aren't there to suggest it. So, look, we entered this stock in January of 24 at $16. Frank, we have an 1,100% gain in it. And the reason that we entered the stock had nothing to do with me being a genius in analyzing the balance sheet and fundamentals. It had to do with momentum. And I'll be very candid about that. And the momentum has remained in place in this stock. And I don't know where we're going to exit. I never anticipated we're going to have an 1,100% gain. I don't know. Maybe the gain's going to be hopefully 400% or 500% by the time we're out of the stock. But momentum guided us in and momentum's guided us out. And I'm going to be very clear about that. And I think ultimately, when you're looking at positioning in this stock, you have to understand that this might be entering a period where it's going to disappoint everyone and move in a sideways pattern after these earnings report.
Joe,
I love what he said. I love everything that he said. And I got to tell you, I'm not a momentum person, but I think that he has a very level head with the way that he is looking at this. And he even said valuation was going to be the one impediment. And I think everybody knew that this was getting very richly valued, kept going up. And I've never seen a stock ever in my life that only goes up. Remember 2022? 2021, you couldn't miss. And then 2022, everything from Amazon to Alphabet to Microsoft. And then Apple was the only thing holding the market up. And then even Apple took a haircut. And we're not talking 20%. We're talking some of these companies were down more than 50%. We got out of it, and stocks have been at all-time highs. They continuously made all-time highs afterwards. Remember, retracements are part of investing. Bear markets are part of investing. Pullbacks are part of investing. But just like Joe said, the fundamentals, in his opinion, don't warrant going back down to 30, 40, 50, 60. Now, where this stops, who knows? It could stop right here tomorrow. We could be up. It could keep going lower. But going lower is actually healthy right now. And I do think that it's going to be my prediction, and I do not have a crystal ball. I do not know what's going to happen. But based on where the fundamentals are and what happened and what it tells me happened last night with Palantir not being able to blow the stock price out of the water and go to 225 or 230 after what was an amazing report, tells me that the momentum has a cap. And I do think that we're going to be sideways to down for a little bit, and then it'll gradually grow back into it. I could be 100% wrong. It could go to 250 in a couple months from now. Who knows? But I do think we've hit a short-term top at the very least. It may be a little longer that it goes sideways, but I also don't think the sky is falling because of one bad day or a couple of bad days. Because when you actually read through the earnings report and you look at the numbers, there's not a single other company right now that I know of that's doing what Palantir is doing.
Come over to you. You're saying if you're looking for something to nitpick, it was some of the stagnation in Europe. But if you look at the U.S. commercial business, up 121% year over year, operating margin expanding quite a bit. It was over 50% this quarter, 34% a year ago. Doesn't that really overshadow some stagnation, I guess, over in Europe? I mean, the fact that commercial customers are adopting, and we know that Palantir has been one of the better performers using their boot camps to drive adoption. I actually talked to a number of companies that use their software. They seem to not only understand ontology, but just the use of this software. And a lot of them say it helps you expand margins, which is supposed to be one of the big base cases.
Nobody's denying any of that. There's not one person looking at Palantir saying anything about like the health of the business. Joe is exactly right. The entirety of the debate is how much growth have investors already pulled forward into the valuation that they're currently paying.
I mean, I've been saying that since 100, guys. Keep in mind, I've been saying that since 100, exactly what Josh Brown just said.
This company is obviously on fire. And it's actually kind of weird to me how defensive Alex Karp seems to be, because people who are real investors in the AI space lionize him personally and worship this company's execution. Like, I don't know of anyone in the AI world that's like, Palantir, no big deal. People are losing their minds over how well this company's doing. What he's worried about is, I guess, a couple of people come on TV here and there, and they're bearish on Palantir because of the just because of the stock price and the valuation. And he seems to be really fixated on that, but it doesn't make sense to me because they're killing it. Frank, all those metrics, and I have 50 more in front of me, no other company, to his point, no other company is executing at the level that they are in this space. And I guess like a more Buffett-esque.
And hold on, keep in mind real quick that their total remaining deal value is 8.6 billion, which is up 91% year over year. That's incredible. And that's probably one of the metrics he had in front of him also.
Response would be, we take care of the business, the share price will take care of itself, especially considering he said he has $880 million still on the buyback. Wouldn't you want the stock to come in? Unless you're issuing stock, okay. I don't even understand why you would want a higher and higher and higher valuation. You're buying stock back. Let people be bearish. Let people sell it.
One other point, Frank, if I can make one other point.
Yeah, go ahead.
The other thing that I've learned over many decades is when you have an individual equity name like this that becomes a battleground stock, that becomes so prominent in the headlines, it doesn't mean if you don't have a position, you have to engage. You have to take a position. In fact, it means the opposite. It actually is a signal to step away and let the marketplace do what it needs to do. Let the marketplace maybe work off some of the extreme valuation. Let the strong fundamentals, which I agree with it, that Josh is citing, come into play. But that happens over the course of time. And you don't need to race ahead of time and establish a position just because everyone's talking so much about it. That's detrimental behavior.
Yeah, by the way, while we're talking about positioning, Michael Burry has been on Twitter since some of these earlier reports come out. He seems to be saying he's not shorting the stock. He has puts, almost $1 billion worth of puts. He kind of put out some funny tweets about that. So I think a lot of people have been saying shorting, including Alex Karp, but it's puts about $1 billion. He also seemed to reference the 13Fs perhaps being backwards looking. So, Jim, I want to come over to you with that in mind.
Yeah, I think I felt kind of like Joe and Josh were talking to me as a typical investor who's not in Palantir, and I thank you guys for that insight.
Jim.
No, but Josh, I mean, you know what I'm about to say, right? First off, Mr. Karp and Mr. Burry both have eloquent points, and they both might be right. It's a question of timing. For somebody in my shoes who doesn't own it, the problem is I can't take investors' hard-earned money and put it to work at 200 times earnings on the fear that it goes down to 120 times earnings, and those investors turn to me and say, well, why did you buy it at the price you bought it? And I don't have a good reason other than momentum, which has worked very well for you, Joe, and I compliment you continuously on it. It works for you. It is your style. But I do want to address something. You know, I just said that both Mr. Karp and Mr. Burry can be right. The thing about Mr. Burry that viewers need to understand, he is so well practiced in waiting far more so than the average viewer and the average short investor is used to. So he's out here saying, yeah, I'm just buying puts. There is a cost to puts. And, you know, those puts expire, and then you have to decide to re-up them. Mr. Burry, as I said, has an exquisite track record, and there's a great movie, The Big Short, in which, you know, this is on display of waiting. The average investor.
How many people do you think are watching The Big Short tonight? If there was something that tracked who is streaming what, I bet you The Big Short is one of the most watched movies tonight. Just people and going to watch clips from it.
Can't wait that long, and that's why shorting, or in this case buying puts, is awfully dangerous for a stock that's growing earnings per share at 50%.
Burry is also very responsible. He tells people, "I'm not your financial advisor. Don't follow me into trades." There's a lot of people who get personal satisfaction out of being very publicly right and tweeting out a position and just saying, "Watch this." And not saying, "Come do this with me." And I like that Michael Burry comes out and says, "Guys, this is not a game that you should be playing with me, but I still want to tell you what I'm doing." He also says, he's been wrong like everyone else on earth. And he says, "I was wrong." He said, go to cash in the middle of last year, right before like one of the biggest phases of this bull run. I think he had puts on NVIDIA in January that he was talking, like, it doesn't always work out. He's willing to be public with his positions. Maybe it's interesting to some market participants, but if you think he's your financial advisor, dude, you're losing perspective. It's just a guy doing his own trades. And I respect him for keeping himself honest. I think I also respect him even more for warning people, this is not a game for everybody to be playing.
And what I'll say about him is I can understand why you would buy puts on Palantir at these levels. I don't understand why you would buy puts on NVIDIA at these levels. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me. Just Amazon, Alphabet, and Microsoft have a $700 billion backlog on cloud. So craziness. And they're continuously increasing CapEx. So I think NVIDIA is going to be a big freaking winner. And look, to me, this is a big picture thing. This is Palantir is an amazing company. I think it can get more amazing. I think the S curve is just starting, but I think it's too rich. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. And I think we could be in a little bit of a downturn. I think it would be healthy. I think it can flatten out and stop pulling so much growth forward for a little bit and then eventually start climbing again. This was no stock has ever just gone up for 4 or 5 years. And I don't think the Palantir is going to be the exception to the rule. Even Tesla, which has traded at ridiculous valuations, has taken 50% haircuts. I mean, it is what it is. So, I don't know. I agree with what they're saying. I just think that people need to take a step back, breathe, drink some blueberry pomegranate, and just relax. Maybe some warm milk, help you relax a little bit. But I mean, look, Palantir going to 225 or 250 would have been absolutely insane. And I think the fact that they put up a 63% year-over-year growth, and they may even put up another 60% quarter in Q4, shows you how amazing this company is and how amazing the business is. I really do. And the amount of customer growth, the amount of deals that they're inking, it just goes to show you none of this is hype. This is a real company. All the big companies are using them, and people love it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a net dollar retention rate of 134%. So I'm a holder. I'm certainly not buying at these levels. I'm a shareholder, and I have no interest in exiting. And we'll see what happens over the next couple of years. But in the future, I think it will be higher. I think it's going to be a little bit of a waiting game at this point. So we'll see what happens. But I don't think that one bad day or a couple of bad days or a downturn is something to get crazy about unless you're a trader. If you're a day trader, yeah, you should be worried. If you're a long-term investor, you have to make a decision about what's best for you. Do you take profits on a 1,100% gain, Do you wait it out? I can't answer those questions. I'm just a guy that does a bunch of research. I know what my plan is, and I know that I don't get crazy on days like this. In fact, I'm pretty freaking calm. Doesn't affect me. So that's where I'm at with Palantir. There was one or two other videos that I wanted to look at. So just give me one sec. I actually want to bring this up. Let me, oh, that actually worked because I'm sharing the window. Let me know if you can hear this. I actually want to listen to this real quick.
Get another check on Palantir with those results out just a few moments ago. Strong numbers across the board, a beat and raise, but shares bouncing around here in overtime, now up fractionally, giving up their initial pop. And this is coming into the
Can somebody give me a yes or no? You can. Thank you.
This was the 5th best performing stock in the S&P 500 year to date, up a whopping 170%. That pushed its forward price to sales ratio to 85 times. It's the highest in the S&P. So let's bring in Brent Thill, Jefferies equity analyst. He has a sell rating, a $60 price target. Brent,
All right. I think the valuation is very rich. $60 price target is a little crazy. Let's see what this guy has to say.
I get your thoughts on this report and what it's going to take for you to perhaps change your tune on Palantir.
Yeah, the fundamentals are rock solid. The valuation is like anything we've ever seen, trading at 90 times revenue. So there's no way you can put any valuation metric on the actual valuation. Again, we've never seen anything like this. The fundamentals, we certainly haven't seen anything like it as well. So to split the two, we've said repeatedly, the fundamentals remain exceptional. The question is this the best place to put your capital based on all the other trends that are going on? You can buy Amazon at 15 times EBITDA. You can buy Palantir at 90 times revenue. So we've been arguing that we feel there's a better use of capital in other places. We've been wrong for part of this call on Palantir, but I think we've been right in those other names, just given the valuation concern, and they continue to execute at an incredible high level. So there's nothing to really take away. The government business decelerated a little bit, 52% versus 53 last quarter. If you want to nitpick, obviously the government shut down. What's that going to do to the business? But ultimately, the commercial business is crushing it. They're putting up great numbers. And as Dr. Karp has said repeatedly, we haven't seen numbers like this from a software company. We've covered software for 30 years. There's nothing like this to compare it against.
So if we have nothing like it to compare it against, how do you get to a $60 price target?
25 times revenue, which would be one of the highest multiples in software right now.
All right. Fundamentally, he may not be wrong, but the market is also forward-looking, and Palantir can certainly be more expensive than other companies, a lot more expensive, because of how much they are growing. And I think something that a lot of people miss is, in fact, the correlation between customer growth, contracts being signed over $1 million, and net dollar retention. I'll say those three all the time because it's true. And on the net dollar retention, you have almost 300 companies that aren't even figured into that number. So when they do get figured in at 134%, it may not be crazy. I mean, I'm gonna take a little step right now. It may not be crazy for Palantir to guide for 45 or 50% revenue growth next year for 2026. I mean, that may not be that crazy if they can keep this trajectory of signing deals going, because all these new customers that they're adding, they've added over 350 customers in the past 6 months. So when they really start ramping, and then if they start scaling what they're utilizing from Palantir, I mean, look, this is a company that can get to 10 billion in revenue in the next 2 or 3 years. They really can. So 60 seems crazy to me. I think right now I'm more in the camp of I wouldn't be surprised. And look, I don't want this to happen, okay? But I wouldn't be surprised if we see 125 or 150 before we see new all-time highs. And I could be wrong. I don't know. But what this analyst is saying, he's not entirely wrong. I mean, Palantir is an expensive company. We all know that. So you got to take everybody's opinion with a grain of salt.
If you look across the entire industry, the highest multiple in our industry, whether it's Cloudflare, CrowdStrike, these are phenomenal companies that are producing huge returns that trade at those multiples. And so you have to assume that this execution continues consistently for years for that multiple to come down. We've never seen a 90 multiple. And look at the numbers. Why is the stock flat? Because it's flat because the multiple's so high and there's no real room on the multiple expansion to go.
Brent,
so again, I go back to way better other stories in AI to invest in that I have more conviction in.
if I were an investor sitting at home, though, I think I would wonder, is Brent Thill just stuck? I mean, you had the $60 price target. It's over 200. Like, you could double your price target and still have a strong sell on the thing. So how does this work? Like, do you have to stay at 60 just because, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound?
No, I think we look at multiples. We've been doing this for a long time, John. This isn't our first rodeo. So when we saw Snowflake implode, Datadog implode, we weren't on the Snowflake trade. We had a hold, and everyone's like, why don't you have a buy? And ultimately, there's a point where these crack. Palantir has done a phenomenal job. But when you look at so many other names in AI across our tech franchise that we cover, many of these names are up 50 to 100%. So would we like 150, 160% return that Palantir's had year to date? Great. We have a safety net around other names that are up 50 to 100+%. And so again, it's a relative bet. And I think when you look across institutional money managers, they're made the same bet. A lot of our clients have made the wrong bet, not betting with Palantir. And ultimately it comes down to valuation. The retail investor can bet because they don't really know the valuation. They don't know it trades. You can literally take a 60-point multiple between the second highest ranked name, which is Cloudflare or CrowdStrike, and the gap between that and Palantir is like 60. So that it's a number that we don't feel comfortable with.
I'm actually going to build out Cloudflare live with everybody once he's done in a few seconds. Because I think Cloudflare, the last time I checked, was pretty expensive. I'm not sure that's actually true, but let's see.
Okay.
And we feel comfortable, again, with others. I'm not taking anything away from the fundamentals. Fundamentals are great.
All right. And that's pretty much what I was saying. Fundamentals are great. Let's bring up, I should probably learn how to pause that. Give me one moment. Let me get my trusty Google sheet out. All right, let's get Cloudflare up, because Cloudflare is more a company that, all right, let's share this. I'm actually very interested to see how Cloudflare stacks up against Palantir. Net. $81.5 billion, huh? I bought Cloudflare at 30 in 2021 and sold it at 192 before it crashed. Because it was, I mean, it made the right move then, fell back down to like 50 or so. And now it's back up a lot, I think. Hold on. Where is net? 232, man. And I took a haircut today too. All right. Gross profit. I'm going to get to BMNR soon, probably a couple minutes, and we'll do BMNR. So hang on. Oh, Cloudflare. How do they still have negative EBITDA on a TTM basis? That's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Cash from ops. CapEx. Man, negative operating income. I guess their net is going to be negative also. Wow. %75 gross margin, 11.7% free cash flow margin. I mean, they're on a price to free cash flow basis, since they don't have earnings, they're more expensive than Palantir. And I thought they were going to be more expensive. So I don't know where he was getting a 60 multiple from. I wish I knew what metric he was using for that. But yeah, I mean, look, things can get very expensive. But once again, Cloudflare is not a $450 billion company. They're not even a $100 billion company. Now, granted, metrics are much different, but Cloudflare is also one of the most expensive tech stocks out there. So take it with a grain of salt. All right. BMNR. Let's talk a little BMNR, everybody. So here's what I'm going to say. Get your milk, get your blueberry pomegranate, and woosah. Just like in the movie Bad Boys. Woosah. That's all you need. So think about why you bought BMNR. And I think there's a lot of people that thought that this was going to go to 100 or 200 in a week or so. Now, I can't prove that, but I think there's a lot of short-term money in it. I think that people saw Bitcoin starting to rally, saw Ethereum starting to rally, and really started going into this without a real thesis. Keep in mind, these are just my opinions. I don't know that that's true. That's the feeling I get, because normally when you're bullish on something, and this is why I scale into positions, because I do not have a crystal ball. I am not perfect at timing things, and I often make mistakes. I am human. I make mistakes. Everybody is human. Everybody makes mistakes. I've never met somebody that's perfect. I've never met somebody that can call every single thing perfectly. Now, BMNR, if you bought it because you thought that this was just going to go up, I can't help you. I can't talk you off a cliff. I can't reason with anything. It sucks. But if that's not why you bought it, and you actually had a real thesis behind this, the first question to ask yourself is the thesis broken? Is it done? My thesis for BMNR is built on the back of my thesis for Ethereum. And the Genius Act gave me that thesis. I was not an Ethereum bull in the spring. I was not a crypto bull in the spring or the year before or the year before that, okay? I was only a bull on XRP because of the financial institution overhaul, the SWIFT network that I thought had potential. The Genius Act came out, and I read through it. And it is very bullish for stablecoins. It is very bullish for tokenization. I look at David Sachs. I look at what he has said on past All In podcasts. I watch every week. It's one of my favorite things to watch. I looked at his stance. I looked at Brian Armstrong's stance. I look at what Vlad has been saying. And I look at the companies that are building stablecoins. If you follow SoFi, and if you're watching me, there's a halfway decent chance that you follow SoFi. Look at what Anthony Noto said on the earnings call. Stablecoins, Q1. Cross-border payments. Global payment network. You look at PayPal, you look at Shopify, you look at MasterCard. They're all building on Ethereum layer 2 for their stablecoins. So now the Genius Act paved the foundation, and this is a much different administration and a much different SEC than the previous SEC. And my thesis around Ethereum is that we are going to get much more stablecoin adoption, much more transaction volume. The combination of that could make Ethereum a deflationary asset, because when you have more transaction volume, a little bit of Ethereum gets burnt off in each one. And per the code, Ethereum has a maximum issuance rate of 1.51% per year. It was at 0.09% for a while. The last time I looked at that number was about a month and a half ago. So I'm not actually sure what the new number is. But there is a world where this year, next year, and the year after that, Ethereum actually becomes a deflationary asset because there is more Ethereum getting burned off through all the transaction volume than is being issued. And if that happens, and if widespread adoption happens, in my mind, it could drive the price of Ethereum up. That would be bullish at BMNR. And BMNR is a treasury based on Ethereum. It's been getting a premium, partly because of Tom Lee, partly because of other things. The reason that I buy both, I buy Ethereum and I buy BMNR, is because I do not know which one is going to do better. But in 5 years from now, I think that they are both going to be higher than where they are today. And what BMNR can do that I cannot do is stake. I cannot stake, I cannot restake, and I cannot restake through DeFi. BMNR has the ability to do that. They have the ability to be a gigantic node or have a bunch of mini nodes, however they go about it, be a network validator, and generate more revenue and tokens or whatever it is through that. Now, everything they generate is immediate net income. It's immediate accretive. So they can plow it back into Ethereum. They can do buybacks. They can invest in other projects. There's a lot they can do. But it's funny how when Ethereum and Bitcoin are going gangbusters, everybody gets their pom-poms out and is cheering, cheering, cheering. And then when it starts going down, the sky is falling and people run for the hills. And it makes me wonder how much short-term money is actually in these things. Because I'm going to say my three famous words. And if you guys watch me a lot, you know exactly what I'm going to say. I don't care. I don't care because I'm not looking to exit tomorrow or the next day or the next month or the month after that. Unless something drastically changes in the thesis and I feel that it's in my best interest to exit. Right now, I have a long-term thesis on this. And a couple of down days, I don't care if this goes down 20 or 30%. It's a number on a piece of paper right now. And it may be up 20% next week. I don't know. All I know is that right now, it's a better price for me to DCA into than it was yesterday, and then it was the day before, and then what it was last week. I mean, I don't think that this is something to get crazy about. The real question is, do you think Ethereum is a goner? Do you think mass scale adoption is not going to happen? Do you think that the crypto craze is done? I mean, if you do, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm not seeing signs of that. And look, what's Ethereum done this year? Let's bring this up. Let's actually look at the chart. And maybe we do go into a crypto winter. I don't know if we're going to or not, but it's just like waiting for a Labor Day sale or a 4th of July sale or something like that. All right. Ethereum, I mean, in freaking April, Ethereum was under 1,500 and it rallied back. I mean, so what? Like, okay, yes, this sucks for a lot of people, but this is also why, at least me, I can't tell you guys what to do. Don't invest money you can't afford to lose. Like, I think that's why I don't stress out about this, because I'm not like, does it suck being down? Yes, but like when you're investing, you gotta invest for the long term and be ready for this. Anybody who looks at a 5-year chart of Ethereum knows that this is not the first time this has happened. It happens very frequently, and it's not fun, but it has come out on the other side every time that has happened. May take a while, and it may be painful, but it certainly creates a very interesting DCA opportunity. And these huge candles happened here, happened there. I mean, that's a huge one. How about this huge one? I mean, I don't know. To me, it's par for the course. Maybe it's easy for me to be pretty calm about it because I drink milk and I drink blueberry pomegranate. It makes me calm. And maybe it's because I'm looking 5 years out and I'm not worried about trying to flip this to roll money into something else. I don't play that game. And look, people that play that game and execute and do well, more power to them. That's not me. I never said I could, never said I would, never tried. It's just not something I want to do because it's not something I want to sit there and stare at charts all day and try to time entries and time exits. Not for me. And I know it's not for me. And quite honestly, with how volatile crypto is, I don't know. It's something where the swings are so violent. If you're short term, crypto, it could be very painful. So just keep that in mind and really ask yourselves, why did you get into Ethereum first? And the one answer that I hate hearing is because you heard somebody talk about it. Do your own research, do your own due diligence. The amount of time that I spend doing due diligence is crazy. And I get it. Some people don't have fun doing that. But at the very least, if you're going to put your money into something, understand what you're buying and do some research and make an informed decision. I mean, that's the best thing I could tell anybody is that. And also, if you don't understand something, maybe you should do something else or go with another idea. I mean, this is a volatile market. It can get a lot scarier. This could very easily go to 2,500. Very easily. Anybody who thinks that this can't go to 2,500 is crazy. It absolutely could. But 6 months from now, is it going to be higher? Maybe. We don't have a crystal ball. But look, Tom Lee gets a lot of credit because he's called a lot of things right. He's been on the opposite side of a lot of things, and it looks like he's going to be correct on several things, okay? I think he said 12,000 end of year this year. I mean, I never thought that was going to happen, okay? I don't have a price target for the end of this year because I have no freaking clue. Keep in mind, there's no financials for crypto. There's no balance sheet. There's no cash flow statement. You can't figure out intrinsic value. You can't run a DCF model. You can't figure out multiples and if it's discounted to its peers. Very hard to handicap this stuff. Very hard. So I have to look at a long-term thesis based on logic and based on the information readily available. And to me, it's a 5-year plan. And right now, I'm not worried. Now, if something changes, I'll come out here and say something's changing. I'm going to take a loss and I'll put it against my winners. But right now, I'm not seeing that. Like this 31.75 does not worry me. Yeah, I'm not built like that. Like I'm not getting stressed out about this. I'm not worrying about this. 3 words, I don't care. So take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not an investment professional. I just do a lot of research and I've been in the markets for a long time. This isn't my first rodeo. Nothing goes straight up, and this stuff is really volatile. Now, I do think BMNR has the potential to get a multiple. I do think that once they start staking, that would be accretive to shareholders. And look, Tom Lee may do another equity raise because of how low Ethereum is. And if he does, that could drive the share price of BMNR lower. But you know what? He'll be getting Ethereum at probably a lower price than what his average is. So there's all things to consider with this. Those are my raw thoughts on Palantir and BMNR. I'm going to go through some comments and I'm going to answer some stuff. I don't know how long I'm planning on staying on, so we'll see. I can't believe you fell for BMNR, brother. You actually do fundamental analysis on companies. Yeah, but BMNR is a speculative investment that I have a thesis on based on where those companies that I do the analysis on are building their stable coins. And I'm not a crypto bro. I'm not really into crypto, but I do see a long-term thesis on Ethereum and BMNR. It's on the speculative side of my investment portfolio. Something I'm taking a runner on. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Total manipulation. The big fish wants your money at a discount price and expect us to sell. I mean, I can't prove it, so I have no idea. Are you planning to watch the Duke Texas game? You know what? Hey, is that Texas A&M or Texas Tech? Who are they playing? Maybe I'll watch that tonight. It is college basketball season. I love college basketball. So I need to start watching St. John's and Kentucky. Those are my teams. Not a Villanova fan. But I will pay attention to Duke, and I will pay attention to North Carolina. I dislike Gonzaga a lot. They screwed me in 1 year. 1 year I went 29 out of 32 in the first round. I called the final four. I ended up losing my pool by 1 point. It was all because of freaking Gonzaga. I was very disappointed. Let's see. Yeah, it's funny that you guys are disappointed in me for falling for the BMNR BS. Well, I'm happy that you're disappointed in me. I'm not disappointed in myself, so I could care less. One of these I'm certainly not answering. That was funny. I did not see Upwork yet. It is Matt, thank you so much for the super chat. I have it on my watch list because of you. I did not look at the quarter. It's been very busy with earnings and work and everything else. I am going to look at it, and I am going to pay attention to Lemonade, even though I'm not a fan of the company, but I am interested in the earnings. You may get me to turn on Lemonade at some point. We'll see. Do I think that Tom Lee is going to go for 10% of Ethereum if the price keeps going down? I have no idea. Maybe Mick can ask Tom Lee that question next time he talks to him. You know, I have a freaking 19 cents average on XRP. I don't think I fell for anything. I'm doing pretty well on it. And if you actually look at the technology of Ripple, there you go. Here we go. You are welcome for the American Gangster recommendation. I have great recommendations for movies. American Gangster, if you haven't seen it, is incredible. Oh, I'm going to go on a rant right now. Here's my rant. Did I go vote today? Yes, I did. And was I annoyed when I voted? Yes, I was. Because I did not get ID'd. And this is the first time I've ever voted in a local election. I usually only vote for presidential elections. And I was told that they match signatures. Couldn't believe it. Very annoyed at that. So I do think that you should have to show ID if you're going to go vote. I mean, I don't know why that's such like a crazy idea. What are my thoughts on the market being red? 3 words, you know what they are. I don't care. It is what it is. Look what the market is. Where did the S&P finish today? Oh no, the S&P finished at 67.23 today. Come on. What are we worried about here? What are we complaining about? If the S&P goes to 65 or 6,400 and then rallies again, it doesn't matter for anybody that's not a day trader? No. Doesn't matter. I'll worry if there's something to worry about, okay? Right now, I'm not seeing stuff to worry about. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate everybody being here, hanging out with me, listening to me rant. Really do appreciate it. Meta's at 617. Are you freaking serious? What is wrong with these people? Meta. I kind of don't believe you, but I do believe you. It's at 627 right now, 622 after hours. I mean, this is crazy talk. I'll do a full dedicated video on this separately. I actually, if you're interested, I wrote a full thesis about this on Seeking Alpha. Oh my God, there's that many meta articles that came out? Jesus. What the hell's going on here? People love this company. All right, I'm going to link it in the chat. If you want to read it, I'm a little backed up on comments. Leave a comment and I will respond. I'm going to respond to a bunch tonight. But I think that if you read this meta article, you'll be very happy. So get some sleep, Steve. Warm milk and cookies were Michael Jackson's favorite sleep meds. Okay. I think you should tell Amit that. I don't know. I haven't asked him, but I think if you ask him that tomorrow on his show, maybe he'll answer. And if not, I'll try to remember to ask him on Thursday night when we do our show. No, I don't think the market's cooked if Madami wins tonight. Let's see. I don't do technical analysis. I have no idea. It's not something I do. It's not something I care about. I'm not going to waste my time doing it because I'm not going to be able to provide any good value on that. All I know is that these types of candles down are normal for Ethereum on a long-term basis. So that's my point on it. Yes, please go talk to him, man. Watch his show tomorrow and ask him. Yeah, look, bullish energy transfer. I like energy transfer. I'm an investor in energy transfer. I think you need to talk to an accountant to understand the difference in holding it in a Roth versus holding it in a traditional account and the implications of getting issued a K-1 tax form. I am not a tax professional. Please talk to your accountant. I don't follow Hood, so I can't tell you. I'm sorry. Yeah, Departed, top 15 movie. Top 15 movie, Departed. No question about it. I have no idea how much the government reopening will affect crypto. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. There's a stock PZZA. Are you kidding me? Really? That is the most fired. Oh, that's Papa John's. What a great ticker for Papa John's. No, I'm not in Papa John's. I've never actually had Papa John's. I will probably go through life never having Papa John's. So no. Let's see. I'm just scrolling through. When in doubt, zoom out. Yeah, I mean, look, you got to look at long term. You always have to look at long term. Look, Hood, I just said it. I don't really follow them. I think what they did last quarter was incredible. So they've gotten a lot of love from the market. Let's see if they can keep the momentum going. I hope for everybody's sake that they do. I do think CoreWeave is interesting. I think Nebius is interesting. You know what? Let me link this. I read it. I think it was phenomenal. I think that what the hell? Hold on. All right. So Amit wrote a great deep dive on his Substack. If you're not following him on his Substack, you should. He did a really great job on that. So I would definitely read it. I think they're very interesting. Let's see. 618 on Robinhood. Okay, yeah, I mean, look, I'm seeing 622 for Meta, so whatever. And look, Meta getting wrecked is a long-term opportunity, in my opinion. I'm not worried about it. You know, going from 720 to 620 does not faze me. Does it suck? Absolutely. But you know what? If you weren't planning on selling, then what does it really matter if you think that in a year from now it's going to be up again, or 2 years from now? So keep in mind, just because I went to vote doesn't mean that I voted for any particular person. So you guys can assume who I voted for. You'll never find out from me. But there's more than one person on the ballot. No, I am not a day trader by any means. Let's see. Tanner freaked out someone earlier because they look. Do your own due diligence. Don't make decisions based on other people. Make decisions based on you. That's all I can say. I mean, make sure that you have a long time horizon. Nobody's forcing anybody to do anything. Nobody's forcing me. I'm down on BMNR. Nobody's forcing me to buy it. I have my own thesis on it. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. Bearish MLP for taxes. Well, that's why I said you need to go talk to an accountant. If you're interested in MLPs, please go talk to an accountant. I think the people panicking on AI are freaking crazy. Absolutely crazy. Look, the thesis on energy transfer is pretty easy. You're getting paid around 8%, and we're building more data centers. We need more energy, and upstream producers, if you look at Chevron, Exxon's earnings report, their production is going crazy. So more production means more energy that has to move through the pipes, which means companies like Energy Transfer will have more volume through their system, more storage fees, more fees on their contracts. So their revenue and free cash flow and distributed cash flow and adjusted EBITDA will go up if that's true. I think it's true, so I think it's very easy. It's a very easy investment for me to make because I think that pipelines are something that can't be replicated. I can go get a bunch of people and we can raise capital and we can hire engineers and we can go create a software company and compete. I can't do the same thing and go decide to build pipelines. It does not work that way. Usual Suspects, great movie. It's not in the top 20, though. Not saying you said that. I'm just saying a lot of people say it's amazing. It's a good movie. I'm not putting it in my top 20. Apple cider donuts are delicious, by the way. Delicious. Yeah, I watched Dexter. It's okay. Believe it or not, I'm ready for Friday night. It's going to be very hard for me to do the Friday Night Weekly only because Power spinoff Force season 3 debuts. So ready. I think Force is the best spinoff from the Power universe. And I just finished rewatching season 1. I'm going to try to rewatch season 2 if I can in the next couple of days. It's incredible. If you haven't watched the series Power on Stars, it's freaking amazing. The spinoffs are really good too. Man, Scorsese's done so many classic movies. It's too hard for me to pick just one. I mean, he's done a lot that are just amazing. Palantir did not crash the entire market. I don't need Domino's or Papa John's, so I can't help you on which one's better. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, listen, ETFs, I like your standard S&P index funds. I prefer them to total market funds. And I like the growth funds for SPYG, stuff like that. Matt Scott Capital, I will look at Lemonade one night. Maybe I'll even do a live due diligence thing. Here's a mid Substack. Please go look at it. Do I listen to K-pop? No. Levin's Bakery is freaking amazing. Do you see? No, I'm not following gold right now. Any good dividend plays? Well, I can tell you there's some interesting ones that I think. I think Verizon's interesting here. I think Energy Transfer is interesting here. I think Chevron's interesting here. Let's see. Yep, Palantir keeps going down. Who had the best milk policy? That's pretty funny. Tanner freaks out on anybody that disagrees with his loony thesis. Not sure which thesis you're talking about, so I don't know. I love all of you too, and I appreciate everybody being here. Tanner shaved his mustache. Did he shave it off or just trim it? I've been telling him for a long time he needs to shave it completely off. I don't know about my favorite dividend paying stock. That's hard. There's a lot of different ones. I mean, look, the de facto could be Realty Income. I mean, it's just when you look at what they've done with their dividend, it's incredible. So I'll probably do a full episode on that at some point. Let's see. I'm not really following VG or Next, so I can't give you any insights into that. Do a deep dive on ET. Yes. Energy Transfer. ET is the ticker. Do a deep dive. I did not say Usual Suspects is in the top 5. I said it's not even in the top 20. I can name so many movies that are better than Usual Suspects. Let's see. Steve's a Tommy guy. Listen, finally. I'm getting caught up in the chat. Looks like we got some Power fans here. I love it. Yeah, Tommy's awesome. Is he as awesome as Ghost? Could be better than Ghost. I don't know. Both really great characters. Power's just, it's a great show in my opinion. They did a really great job on it. And from the spinoffs, I actually think Force and the one with Tariq, I think it's the spinoff is actually called Ghost, isn't it? I think that one was really good too. So, you're calling me Uncle Benny from freaking Lethal Weapon 4? Really? Think I don't know about? Yeah, Traffic's a good movie. Really like Traffic a lot. Yeah, I mean, look, being in the city, it's pretty hard for me to go to a chain pizza place. Jackie Brown, this person knows some movies. Great freaking movie. Pacino or De Niro? That's a good question. De Niro. For several reasons. But very close. Very, 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 very close. Wow, Fish Called Wanda. I haven't even heard that in a while. No, don't do this to me. Chicken Parm Hoagie, don't do that. It's Chicken Parm Hero. We all know that. Why do I hate AMD? I don't hate AMD. I sold AMD at like $3.68. So it is what it is. So it's a sore spot. Let's see. Best Thanksgiving pie flavor. Ooh, that's a good one. Look, I get a little crazy with the pies. Like a good apple crisp or an apple crumb is amazing. But that blueberry crumb is freaking great too. And I'll tell you, you get a really good blueberry raspberry mix. They complement each other very, very well. So, I mean, it all depends. Are we putting a scoop of ice cream on it? And are we putting some Ready Whip on it? Because there may not, it's tough because when you warm it up and you get the blueberry jam going into the vanilla ice cream, it's tough. It's a tough decision. Like, this is something I really need to think about and come up with a rating scale on. It's kind of like my take about hot fudge and vanilla ice cream. Like, I don't know why anybody wants hot fudge and vanilla ice cream. If you want hot fudge, just get chocolate ice cream. I mean, caramel, nice piping hot caramel and vanilla ice cream, that's where it's at. Is Breaking Bad a top 5 series? No. Breaking Bad is the most overrated show. It's one of the most overrated shows, just like Ozark. Overrated. I don't know. I think DraftKings is going to be in trouble. That's just me. They need to change this new law with the tax code where you can only deduct 90% of your losses from your winnings. I think that's going to hurt the casino business in general. I like ANET a lot. I need to look at them more closely. They put out some great products. UNH and Phi, I mean, I don't have a thesis on them. Yankees over Mets. I mean, I got a freaking Rivera jersey right behind me. Oh, okay. Best Rocky movie. It's not one. Now, here's the thing. If I was older, if I was in my 70s and I actually saw these in the movie theaters, I can completely understand thinking one's the best movie. So if you're older than me, take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, because I did not see these in the movies. I've heard stories of people who have seen these in the movies, and I get it. All right. Trust me, I get it. But realistically, 3 or 4, everybody is probably going to say 4 is the best Rocky movie. 3 or 4 is the best. I'm fine with going 4-3 or 3-4. I'm fine with either one. It's either 3 or 4 is the best one. And I will say 5 is underrated. Let's see. What is your top 10 movie list? Ooh, I don't know. It changes all the time. You know, top 10 best movies or top 10 movies you can just watch at any time. It's 2 different lists. It is absolutely 2 different lists. So, I don't know. We'll see. Goodfellas is going to be on both of them. I can watch Goodfellas at any point. And look, Goodfellas hot take is better than Godfather, just saying sorry, not sorry type thing. Heat's definitely on there. I got to really think about it. I do love Goodfellas. It's incredible. Oh, John Candy, listen, if you like Uncle Buck, go watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with him and Steve Martin. Freaking great. I watched the first season or 2 of Stranger Things. I think it fell off. Maybe I watched 3 seasons. I don't know. I thought the first season was good, and then I think it kind of went downhill. I'm with you. Goodfellas is the best mob movie ever. I'm with you. Steve only wears striped shirts and Mosley BLE. I don't know what BLE is. Saving Private Ryan overrated. Get out of here. Carp versus Jensen in the octagon. Who wins? I don't want to see them in the octagon. I'm sorry. Steve, is Chief Wiggum's Tanner Ned? I don't even know what that means. I think Denzel is amazing. Come on. Guy's one of the greatest actors of all time. Denzel's easily top 10, maybe even top 5 actors of all time. Absolutely amazing. Veal parm, full stop. I'll tell you, a good veal parm is freaking great. Yeah, Jackie Brown's amazing. Traffic is amazing, of course. No, I'm not. I'm not down with the pumpkin pie. I'm not down with it. No way. I don't do pumpkin spice lattes. I don't do pumpkin pie. No, thank you. Let's see. Black Mass. I liked Black Mass. I thought Johnny Depp did a good job in it. I mean, listen. So I said it. A lot of people like hot fudge on their vanilla ice cream. I don't know why. I think it's ridiculous, but that's just me. Yeah, a lot of people like Breaking Bad. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I got through like 6 episodes of Breaking Bad. No bueno. Breaking Bad is not a top 5 show. It's not a top 10 show. Oh, so if you had asked me Sopranos rank 10 years ago, it could have been top 3. I don't even think it's top 10 anymore. Going back and watching it, I can't rewatch the whole thing. Now, I have rewatched an abbreviated version of The Sopranos multiple times since the pandemic. And when I say multiple times, I can watch the entire series in like 6 hours because I speed through every scene with the kids, with Carmela, and with Dr. Melfi. I can't watch any of those scenes. Can't do it. I do not watch anime. No. No. Which movie had the best Rocky train montage? Rocky 4. Absolutely. I mean, come on. Rocky training in Russia, the best. Inception's up there. It's a top 20 movie. Scarface is good, but I think it's become a little overrated. Yes, I've seen Shooter the movie. It's pretty good. Shawshank is not a top 10. Sorry. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is awesome. Bronx Tale is awesome. Steven Amit in the Octagon, Amit would freaking beat me because I would never hit him. So I would let him hit me and I would just fall. Come on. A bloody steak is my death meal. Bloody steak with garlic mash and a nice icy cold Coke. Game of Thrones is overrated. Now, one of my very close friends that passed is probably going to strike me down for saying this, but I loved Game of Thrones until it started getting drawn out. I mean, I think that the later seasons were not great. They were great parts of it. There were great sequences, but there was a lot of stuff that I did not like. And if you read the books, a lot different. I watched Landman. Landman was awesome. I mean, it's tough. Oreo or chocolate chip. Give me either one. I'm a happy guy. Oh, The Wire's phenomenal. Come on now. The Wire's amazing. Ribeye over a New York strip, but I'll take a porterhouse over a ribeye because there's just something that hits home about a porterhouse for me. I have not tried Popeyes. I need to get around to it. Whole milk is what I drink. Whole milk. Carlito's Way is amazing. Yeah, look, the first 5 seasons of Game of Thrones is good, really good, but there's parts that suck. I mean, sorry. Did you watch Uncut Gems? Of course I watched Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems was such a good movie, but it gives, like, I don't care who you are, you have to, I mean, it gives me anxiety to watch that movie, but it was a good movie. I think Adam Sandler was great in it. Yeah, if you, and look, reading the books of Game of Thrones is not easy. It's the Old English dialect. There was stuff I had to go back and reread to make sure I wasn't missing stuff. So, but the books are really different than the show. Let's see. I did not watch White Lotus. I was rooting for the Dodgers. My daughter thinks I need to watch your show before I go to sleep every night. I have not read Harry Potter. I do not care about Harry Potter. I will not be reading Harry Potter. Best Christmas movie. Lethal Weapon. Hot take. Lethal Weapon more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard. Just saying, there's actually a Christmas tree and it's actually Christmas time. I have no idea who won the New York mayor race. Is it even up? Let's see. I don't think polls close. It's after 9. So polls are closed. Can we get a live thing anywhere? Is there a live thing anywhere? Like, what the hell is going on here? All right. So it looks like I don't want to pronounce the names. I'm going to mess it up. Well, I'm going to try. Zoran Mandami is winning right now. Andrew Cuomo is in second. Curtis Silva is in third. And it's crazy the amount of votes. All right, so this is only 36%. Okay. I was going to say, this is not a lot of votes that have been counted so far on this poll. So Cuomo's got, I'm sorry, Mandami has 422,000. Cuomo's got 325,000. So it is not the blowout people thought it was going to be, and there's only 36% reported. So it could be anybody's race at this point. Let's see. Oh, look at this guy. Hello, Tanner. How are you? So am I. You must be watching my stream because we were just talking about it. Only 36% of the votes are in. He very well may. And the thing I'm looking at, he's got 52% and Cuomo's got 40%, and there's 36% counted. So still anybody's match. But everybody wants you to come on. What time are you ending your stream? Oh, so you're going to be going all night? All right.
We're talking some Palantir, we're talking some SoFi, we're talking all sorts of things.
Yeah, I mean, I just went over Palantir and went over BMNR, and now I'm doing listener questions. So I'll call you in a little bit. Later. Let's see. I don't know what Tanner's buying, so Couldn't tell you. Is it over? I mean, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know they're predicting that Mamdani is going to win. Live updates. Why is it so difficult to see why can't we just have a leaderboard somewhere? Is there not a leaderboard to see this stuff? So annoying. Virginia, okay, that's in. I don't know. Oh, hold on, New Jersey. Um, 52% of the vote is in. Who is this? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We got to see what happens. I don't know. It's too early to start looking at this stuff. All right, let's see what else. Is it called for Mamdani? Let me go back and see if it is. New York City mayor. No, it's not called yet, guys. Like, I'm on CNN right now. It's not called. CNN does great analytics for the elections. 38% of the vote is in. Now, he may be projected to win, but 38% of the vote is in. It is still early, okay? It's either going to be Mamdani or Cuomo. It's going to be one of the two. We all know this. So, I don't know. See what happens. Oh, Taken over Taken 2. Stop. Stop it. Taken is just freaking great. I love that movie. It's so freaking good. Especially when he says good luck. It's so freaking good. Look. Ronnie Brook Farms, that blueberry pomegranate run through my veins. That's why it's freaking stays so even keel. Yes, I've watched Game of Thrones. Love Game of Thrones, but I think some parts are overrated. Ice Road Truckers was interesting. You don't want me for mayor. I don't want to be mayor. I have no interest in politics. Definitely not interested. Ooh, I like this question. Steven Seagal or Jean-Claude Van Damme? So, I don't know. Seagal has a 6 run of movies that is ridiculous. Let's see if I can name all of them. I can't do it in order, but Out for Justice, Above the Law, Marked for Death, Hard to Kill, Under Siege, On Deadly Ground. I feel like I'm missing one. Now we got to pull it up and see what I'm missing. Out for Justice, Above the Law, Hard to Kill, Marked for Death. I feel like there's one more in there that I'm missing, and now it's freaking annoying me. Let's see. Steven Seagal. I will say, Bloodsport with Van Damme is freaking incredible, everybody. Like if Bloodsport's on, I'm freaking watching it. Period. Full stop. All right. Above the Law, Hard to Kill, Marked for Death, Out for Justice, Under Siege, On Deadly Ground. I got all of them. That was the 6th run of his movies. After that, horrible. Like Under Siege 2, garbage. Executive Decision, garbage. Glimmerman, some people like garbage. I mean, Exit Wounds, I don't know why anybody would like that. I mean, there's not a single good movie he did after those. So those 6 were freaking great. Just saying. Yeah, I mean, look, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bloodsport, Kickboxer, amazing. Double Impact, very underrated, amazing movie. Lionheart was okay. Ooh, Stallone or Arnold? Stallone. Not even a question. It's not even a question. Goodfellas over Pulp Fiction. That's not even a question either. Yeah, dude, Double Impact was freaking great. Don't do that to me. Top Gun or Braveheart, you're tearing at me. Both are amazing. I mean, such different movies. It's so hard to put them up against each other. Both freaking phenomenal. Universal Soldier with Dolph Lundgren, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, listen, Above the Law could be his best movie. It's hard though, right? I mean, Nico Toscani? Or are we going to talk about Casey Ryback? John Hatcher? I mean, Mason Storm? What about Gino Felino? I mean, which character do we want to talk about? Or Forrest Taft? I don't know. I mean, I happen to like his older movies. They're freaking great. Let's see. Markets are halting overnight. Okay, whatever. Oh, Deer Hunter. Wow. Talk about a freaking long movie. Christopher Walken, De Niro, Meryl Streep. I mean, what a long freaking movie. Crazy movie. Full Metal Jacket is interesting. How can you declare a winner when 43% of the vote is in? That's crazy talk. Yeah, Double Impact was a good movie. Usual Suspects is overrated. Sorry. I did not watch Spartacus. Blade Runner was okay. Walken's great. Him and King of New York was freaking amazing. Yeah, look, Zoran may win. We'll see. He may win. Face Off was okay. Ooh, Islam or JDM. That's interesting. I got to come back to you on that. U.S. Marshals is a really good movie, actually. I'm with you on that. Tombstone, arguably best Western ever made. Sorry for everybody who thinks Quick and the Dead or what's the other one? I can't remember the other one. But Tombstone's probably the best Western. Jet Li or Bruce Lee? I mean, I'm a big Jet Li fan, so it's hard for me to say that. Yeah, Good, Bad, and Ugly. Yeah, that's one of them. 310 to Yuma was a good movie. I may watch the new Frankenstein. We'll see. Goodfellas or Casino? I mean, listen. Goodfellas is better, but if Casino is 15 minutes shorter, I could make an argument that Casino is a better movie. Young Guns. Wow, that's a freaking blast from the past. Blast from the past. Yeah, look, Casino's great, but, they need to make it 15 minutes shorter. Yellowstone is the best TV show that's been on in years. Years. And I hate what they did to John Dunn. I hate it. But you know what? I am so serious about this. The best scene that Casey was in the entire series was when he's in the back of Grant's car and tells him that he screwed up because he got lazy in the private sector and he didn't build out a full target analysis on family. And he tells me he's got 12 years in the teams. How many friends do you think I have? Best scene Casey was in. Freaking great. Love Yellowstone. Rounders is freaking amazing. And if Matt Damon makes Rounders 2, I'm seeing it in the movie theater. I cannot wait. I have never seen High School Musical, and I will never see High School Musical. Sopranos is a better show than Yellowstone? That's so tough. No, it's not. I'm going to go on record right now. 10 years ago, I would have said yes. I got to tell you, I actually think Yellowstone's a better show than Sopranos. Everybody's going to give me shit for that, but if I was going to sit down and rewatch something right now, I'm rewatching freaking Yellowstone before Sopranos. But if you say, Steve, you can cut out all the scenes and just watch the mob scenes, Sopranos is a better show. But we got to say full show. Like, I'm sorry, but Yellowstone's that freaking good. Like, it is that good. Godfather is better than Godfather Part 2. Hands down. Yeah, it is a super hot take, but Yellowstone's that good of a freaking show. I did not see Father Ted. Yeah, I don't want to see Tony in the freaking Melfi's office. Don't do that. Now, I'm going to bring it up on screen. Do me a favor. Rephrase this, Jordan or Kobe. I don't want to hear Jordan or LeBron. And it's Jordan. And I got to tell you, Kobe, way better than LeBron. And if I'm building I'll give you I like that question. Hold on. If I'm going to give you my starting five, this is something that should not be a hard take. You ready? Best starting five of all time. This starting five will beat any starting five. I don't care. Kobe, Jordan, Curry, Tim Duncan, and Shaq. What are you putting on the floor against that? Nothing. Nothing. You're not getting a single rebound with Duncan and Shaq. I mean, it's going to be very hard with Kobe and Jordan guarding you and then having Duncan and Shaq in the post to freaking go in for a layup. I mean, it's the ultimate freaking defensive team. And from offense, good luck guarding Kobe and Jordan and then having Curry go out to the three so you can dish it out to him. And you got Duncan and you got Shaq to dish it down to in the post. Nobody's beating that team. Sorry. Just not happening. Sons of Anarchy. How about this? Top 5 TV show. Just saying. Sons of Anarchy is that freaking good. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's that good. Yeah, I do talk about stocks. We talked about stocks for an hour and like 15 minutes. But, people go down a rabbit hole and they get me going on a rabbit hole and we freaking start going down a rabbit hole. You can rewind and go look at Palantir and BMNR. That's what we talked about. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't like the ending of Sons. I understood the ending. I love the fact that Vic Mackey was driving the truck, Vic Mackey from The Shield, because Sean Ryan wrote both shows, or he was a producer of both shows. I mean, Kurt Sutter wrote Sons of Anarchy, but I mean, it's just freaking great. I mean, freaking great. Ray, you got jokes tonight. Do I ever talk about yogurt every 5 minutes? Donnie Brasco, amazing movie. Absolutely amazing movie. Oh, that's a great question. Friday Night Lights or Remember the Titans? Man, I don't know. They're both classics. I love both of them. Don't make me choose. Don't make me choose. Really? You're going to sub out Curry for Dirk? I don't know about that. Listen, Friday Night Lights and Remember Titans are both amazing. How about we throw The Program in there? Program is one of the best football movies ever made. Now you can't leave. I like it. I don't know. I'm not really watching the futures. We'll see what happens. Wemby has got to fit in there for 2 years. Come on. Like, he's got 2 years. Why are we? Wemby's not in the conversation. The Game with Michael Douglas, good movie. Good movie. How did this just go from 52% to 60%? How? I don't understand it. Yes, I would take Shaq over Elijah Wan. Rudy, not high on the list. I'm hovering over all the different boroughs right now. I do not think Cuomo's going to win. I think it is going to be Mandami just running just quick math. I can absolutely see if people are calling it or making the prediction of it. I can see that happening. Tanner sent everybody. Nice. What did Tanner leave? I thought Tanner said he was staying live until the race was over. Let me see. Oh, he did leave. Huh. Interesting. Little Giants was a good movie. I like Little Giants. He gave up. He quit on you guys. What's going? Should I call him and bust his chops? Let's call Tanner and bust his chops. Everybody's saying you quit on them. Yeah, everybody's saying that you quit on them. You just streamed for 2 hours. I got everybody freaking in here saying that you left them hanging. You quit on them. Tanner sent us. They want me to put it on speaker. I mean, they're just saying you quit on them. All right. Well, you want to come on? You want a link? All right. All right. You're going to have a sauna. Guys, he's going to have a sauna. What can I tell you? He needs to go in the sauna. He needs to go get the red light therapy. You know, this guy's trying to get his sleep score to 100. Don't worry. You're not on speaker, so they can't hear what you're saying. So, all right. Good for you being close to getting 100 sleep score. You're my role model. Good for you. All right, later. All right, so Tanner needs to go catch a sauna, and he's trying to get his sleep score to 100. He's trying to become a vampire and live forever. That is Tanner's story. So I don't know. But I'm happy to be here with everybody. Let's see. Peaky Blinders was a good movie. Good movie. Girl with a dragon tattoo, pretty good. Oh, you guys heard everything he said? All right, well, at least I didn't lie. Certainly didn't lie. He was not on speaker. I didn't realize you guys could hear what he said. I don't know. He wears one of those tracker things when he sleeps. I don't know how he can get a perfect sleep score. How about this, guys? How about this? Daniel Craig is the best James Bond. I'll say it. Oh, you know what you're talking about. Animal Kingdom. If you haven't seen it, incredible TV show. Incredible. Incredible. I think Phasmato Flames is going to be freaking amazing. So we'll see. I have not watched Black Mask. I have watched Black Mass, if that's what you meant to type. Yeah, 60% of the vote is in. Last update, 926. Listen, Sergio, give me your ranking, because I'm sorry, Connery, not the best Bond. Daniel Craig is a better Bond, and I will tell you, Pierce Bronson, arguably better than Connery, even though he's not as tall as what Bond should be. So, I don't know, maybe I just don't think the old Bond movies are nearly as good as what they once were. Maybe I'm jaded. Daniel Craig is the best Bond, hands down. How can they call it when only 60% of the vote is in? They don't know what the rest of the vote is. Now, if they're extrapolating based on the current results, sure. But that doesn't make sense. Yeah, sure. Poll, but I don't know. I wouldn't be going by exit polls. I mean, he's certainly projected winner right now. I just don't think that you can call it. If they had 90% of the vote is in, I think you can call it. But I mean, 60%, that's a little too far away to call it, in my opinion. Let's see. Ooh, Last Kingdom. Okay. How about Kingdom of Heaven? That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. Fair point. Yeah, Kingdom of Heaven director's cut's freaking great. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it just popped up on CNN that he is now the projected winner. But it still says 60% of the vote. So they're projecting he is the winner. Kingdom of Heaven, I think you need to have a really good sound system to watch it. It makes a big difference. I'll tell you, Troy is such a freaking great movie, everyone. If you haven't seen Troy, go watch Troy. I have no idea what I'm buying tomorrow. Oh, yeah, I'm with you. Troy over Kingdom of Heaven all day, every day. All day, every day. I don't think they're fighting. "300" was the first movie I saw in IMAX, and it was freaking amazing. Oh, yeah. Has Ackman tweeted? He's got to be losing his freaking mind right now. Let's see. Yep, Ackman is losing his mind right now. I'm going to share the screen. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Hold on. So, supposedly an unprecedented 2.2 million turnout with 60% above 45 years old. I'm going to be an optimist and say Cuomo is going to get the win. If he fails to win, it's because Curtis cares more about himself than NYC. Let's never forget that. If Andrew wins, he is going to be a great mayor. Why? Because he will owe nothing to the Democratic Party, and he'll be working only for his legacy. He can therefore do whatever is right for NYC for the long term without worrying about the political consequences. At real, Donald Trump is going to want to work with Cuomo to make New York great again. I think the president and Cuomo respect each other, which increases the chances we will supposedly know by 9:30. Well, it's 9:40 and we don't know. And projected does not mean one. So there's still a long way to go. And look, Mamdani has a 109,000 vote lead right now. That's very significant. I would think that he's obviously in the driver's seat. So, yeah, I think that Bill Ackman's going to go absolutely crazy later. Look at all the stuff he's been retweeting. It's just wild. I hate politics. I really do. There is Not the, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. All I can tell you is the newspapers are going to be interesting tomorrow. That I can tell you. I mean, look, Kalshi was wrong. The prediction markets were wrong. So I mean, it was by the way that their odds were, they expected this to be a blowout. I have not looked at Oracle recently. I don't know that you can say that. I don't know if you can actually say if Curtis dropped out, Cuomo would win, because you don't know how many of those people would not have come out to vote. It's not, you can say that he would have had a better chance. I don't think you can say that he would have won, though. And look, I got news for everybody. Mamdani ran a hell of a campaign. He ran a really good campaign. So, I don't know. He couldn't bench 65 pounds. He's serious? Wow. Okay. I mean, yeah, we care about CEOs on this channel. 100%. 100%. I care way more about CEOs. I agree. Is AMD reporting tomorrow? No, they report today, right? Favorite CEO? I don't know. That's a hard one. I almost have to say Zuckerberg. I almost have to do it. I don't know if he's actually my favorite CEO, but I almost have to do it by default. I mean, look, I don't want to do a favorite. I'll give you 5. Karp, because he's a freaking awesome guy, patriot, built something that's just helping companies and helping the military. So he's in my top 5. Anthony Noto's in my top 5. Zuck is in my top 5. Do I put Ken Langone up there? Maybe. I would consider putting Ken Langone in my top 5. I would definitely consider that. Definitely consider that. And I would consider putting Jensen or Bezos in there. It's hard. It's hard, but I would. I don't know. I may put freaking Bezos in there. There's a lot of good ones. I mean, we need to do a CEO tier list. Yeah, Jamie Dimon's a good one too. He's up there. Yeah, listen, Ken Langone, don't sleep on freaking Langone. Do not sleep on him. Brad Jacobs, don't sleep on him. I agree. Why don't they want to update this? This hasn't updated in 20 minutes. Oh, look who's back from the gym. It says projected, sir. It says projected. And by the way, I've been linking your Nebius deep dive. You did a great job on it. Oh my God, thank you so much. In all seriousness, I'm not going to say it, but thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. No, it just says projected from Abu Dhabi. Look, it's going to be him or Cuomo. It's one of the two. And he ran a great campaign. I have no idea where I'm freaking, if I had to move, I don't know. No, I'm not running for, I would never run for politics, ever. I would say you couldn't pay me enough to run for politics, but obviously if you gave me a ridiculous amount of money, I'd run, but no, I have no interest in that stuff. Come on. What do you want to run for politics for? Sit there and argue with people all day? Come on. I don't want to do that. I don't know why anybody would want to do that, truthfully. Like, think about how annoying it's got to be to hold one of those positions. I could have a cookie man who delivers me cookies all day. That'd be great. Steve, I need you to be the CEO of Mayfield. I don't even know what Mayfield is. What's Mayfield? How much income stocks do you have in your portfolio? I have no idea percentage-wise. No clue. As a tax-paying citizen, I don't mind you getting a cookie a day. Thank you. I appreciate that. Cookie a day keeps the doctor away, right? Arguing with the middle of the day is not the same thing as arguing with freaking politicians. Come on. We talk about stocks. Steve for neighborhood milkman. That would be funny. No, I did not listen to Amit and Tanner discuss Grab last night. I listened to it for like 5 minutes. Oh, we got an update. We have an update. I'm going to call it. Mandami's going to win. 83% of the vote is in. He's got 171,000 lead. I don't think there's any way that Cuomo's going to win. And Curtis has 137,000 votes. Even if he did not run, the math does not math. Mandami would still be in the lead, even if 100% of his votes went. Look, the guy ran a great campaign. You can think whatever you want about him, his politics or whatever. The guy's a great speaker and he ran a great campaign. And that's what happens when you do the right things. Period. I don't know. I don't know what to tell people. Like, the guy ran a great campaign. Favorite conspiracies. Oh man, I got some good ones. That we can do it. We'll do a separate episode on conspiracies. Roy seemed like he was enjoying the conversation. I can tell you that much. The Y files. I watched the X files. I don't know what the Y files are. All right, everybody. We're going to go for 8 more minutes, and then I'm going to get off so I can go get dinner, watch a little TV, and hit the sheets. Yeah, I do not know what the Y files are, but I will check it out. I'll try to check out the Rogan episode. I don't know what's for dinner. See? Let's see. You like, June, you like that I give you time estimates on leaving? Sometimes they're not accurate, but I'm looking at the clock and how long I've been streaming for. So I figure, you know what? We'll cut it at 10:30. I'm sorry, 10 o'clock. That'll be a 2.5 hour stream. No more milk in New York. What? How is that possible? We'll find a way for milk. Don't you worry. Need my milk for my cookies. Ugh. Oh my God. Tired. Milk smuggling. I don't think we have to worry about that. Seinfeld was freaking amazing. Come on now. Seinfeld was absolutely incredible. You can go back and watch any of those freaking episodes. I mean, such a good show. Love it. Absolutely love it. Look, I don't want to say Seinfeld versus Friends because they're both classics with huge followings. So I was a Seinfeld person. I was not a Friends person, but I got to respect Friends because of the huge following. So, and yeah, it's probably a generational show. I mean, is non-salt butter even a thing? I mean, come on. I like How I Met Your Mother. Listen, the freaking drunk car episode for the LIRR Railroad is freaking amazing. Wow, my phone's blowing up. My phone is freaking blowing up right now. Let's see. I'm getting a lot of text messages. Have I listened to the Rolex episode of the Acquired podcast? No, I have not. What's in it? Yeah, Big Bang Theory is freaking amazing. Acquired. You know what? Maybe I'll watch that tonight. Thank you. Acquired podcast. Rolex episode. Always keep a pad of paper near you. Never know when you need to write something down. Well, I mean, Rolex bought Buccara so they can control the entire market. So, I mean, that is a phenomenal thing for them. I'm not a big Rambo fan. Meta is a whole separate. We'll do a separate episode on Meta. Probably tomorrow or Thursday. We'll do a separate episode on Meta. Let's see. Listen, it would be nice if we hit the bottom and if we run into November. I'd like that. I mean, where are they on the Meta glasses? Hold on. I will buy a new pair at some point. I have the original Rift. I originally thought that I would be able to play real video games with it. And I originally thought they would have Netflix for it and stuff. They really didn't. It looks like the Meta Quest 3 has what I want, but I don't even know if the Quest 3 you can play like Grand Theft Auto with it. So once they make the Meta glasses where you don't have to just play the games that are on the system, it's anything on the screen, I will definitely get it without a question. I don't know if I would get the Meta Ray-Bans. I don't own a console right now, but I will be getting a PS5 for Grand Theft Auto 6. I do think the Dodgers can three-peat. Oh, Jordan in the Rodman era over, I mean, easy. I think Jordan, when he came back, was better than Jordan when he retired the first time. Check out the trailer for the new Bond game. I will. Yeah, I mean, GTA 6, Matt and I are going to be streaming it. We're going to be getting down on it. So we'll probably get everybody involved. We'll figure it out. We are going to do more alternative assets. I was exhausted on Sunday, so didn't do it. Larry Bird's top 15, probably. Maybe top 10. I gotta say. And GoldenEye is just nostalgia-wise one of the best games ever made. For me, nostalgia-wise. So, all right. I'm going to get going, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. Really appreciate everybody sticking with me for 2.5 hours. And we'll be back tomorrow. I think that Tanner may be coming on at some point. We will see. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.